What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video today. It is time for the final Georgia runoff prediction / analysis video. That's right, folks. This is it. The most critical Senate race that's left for this cycle. It will determine if Democrats reach 51 Senate seats or if the Senate stays at 50-50, which on paper may not seem like the best for Republicans. But if they get a House majority, which they already got, and they keep the Senate 50-50, they pretty much, anything Biden wants to do, it's dead. With a 51-49 Senate, Biden can still get through a lot of judges. 50-50, not so much. Sure, it's a tie, but a lot of those judges, they're going to be decided by people like Joe Manchin, which, considering the fact he has re-election coming up, he's not going to be a rubber stamp. Sure, he's probably going to vote Biden like 80% of the time, but it's critical for Republicans to get that 50-50 split, so they keep the committee split, and Joe Manchin's really the one that has a say who are the judges. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day. You could join Real American Politics, only 10 cents a day. That's a phenomenal deal to help support the daily content. We all love that daily content, so I hope you join today. Alright, folks, let's get into it. The final runoff prediction. And just like the intro stated, we are going live at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So by the time this video is up, the live stream link will be set up. It'll be in the description down below. The intro said exactly what to do. Alright, so this prediction, we will be using the new methodology. Again, it will be in the corner or on the screen right now. Guys. People need to chill about this being a foregone conclusion that Warnock will win. And I'm not saying that Walker's favor or anything like that. What I am saying, however, is these people that say Warnock is 90% guaranteed he's going to win, I don't believe it. Look, the people citing the polls, they're flat out ignoring what happened in 2022. The polling was awful. And I understand that it favored the GQP. Sure. But what's to say these polls are going to favor the GQP again? What if they overstate Democrats? So at this point, barring it being a presidential year, I am done using polls for my analysis. I'm done with it. Sure, they may be accurate every now and again, but it's like they become so unreliable, you can't use them. And if you do a 1 to 2 point shift for the margin of error the polling was in the general election, sure, may have Warnock up by 5, but it's like, is that what's going to happen? We tried doing the same thing, the reverse, and it didn't work so well. So polling as a whole, I'm ignoring. But there are some tidbits about these polls people are citing. These polls are claiming that it's going to be 55-56% white. It's going to be 55-56% 50 plus, older voters. Guess what? It's not going to be this young. It's not going to be 50% young. It's going to be maybe 30 to 40% 50 or below, the age of 50 or below. Currently, it's only 30% of voters are below the age of 50. That's not good for Warnock. That's significantly lower than it was in the general election. Yes, the race has been a bit better for Warnock, but if these are older, rural, black voters, they're going to be more Republican than those in Fulton or DeKalb counties. Younger, they haven't lived in Georgia their entire lives or anything like that. They're younger, etc. Because those voters in rural Georgia that are black and they're older, who have lived in Georgia the rest of their entire lives, we saw some shifts with those voters towards Walker. And if those are the voters that are turning out, You would rather have those voters as Walker than these 18 to 29 black voters in Fulton County, which that's what appears to be happening. That's why I'm saying hold the horses on this black vote. We don't know exactly who they are. Are they rural voters? Are they young ones? We don't really know. We can guess by county, the demographics by race, not so much by age. And that's what I'm saying, people. This is going to be a close race. And people are ignoring the fact that 7.5% of the early vote were day-of voters in the 2022 general election. How do you think those voters are going to break? Take a guess. They're going to vote overwhelmingly Republican. And these are 7.5%. What's the real wild card in all of the early voting are these non-voters. I hate this, that 4% of voters that didn't even vote in the general election, they're voting in the runoff. This is the wild card, in my opinion, what will, outside of Election Day turnout, determine who is the next senator of the state of Georgia. This is the X factor. If these voters, are 50-50, which there's a chance of it being 50-50. There's also a chance for it being Warnock 70-30. If these are close, and the day of voters break for Walker, and early voters break how they did in the general election, you do some basic math and you realize the lead that Warnock has built isn't that good. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, the early vote numbers look great for Democrats. Just because you're comparing Fulton County, which, sure, it has the most votes in the state, but look at this. The percent of 2022. This is okay. Let's say a county had 5,000 votes in the general election. Let's say they had 4,000 votes in the runoff for early votes. Early voting only. That's 80%. That's what it means. So far, Fulton's only at 65%. And you notice all these other big counties, DeKalb, 77%, Cobb, 77%, Gwinnett, 73%, Forsyth, 76%, etc. You notice that these big Democrat counties, they're actually underperforming percentage-wise. These rural Walker counties are actually doing pretty good. Turnout has been fairly solid in a place like Johnson, Wheeler, Burke, etc., which are more Republican counties. Burke is more 50-50, but you get the point. Percentage-wise, Republicans are getting their turnout in most of the state. But there is one part of the state that Republicans absolutely need to turn out on Election Day. This is the only thing holding back Walker in the early vote. Not enough people are talking about this. Look, you look at congressional districts, and you notice, percentage-wise, Republican districts are tied with Democrat districts. That is fascinating, considering this fact. Look at some of the lowest counties percentage-wise. The 4 lowest counties for percent of the 2022 early vote are Republican counties. And these are not, 2,000 vote counties. These are tens upon tens of thousands of votes. Cherokee County, one of the biggest Republican counties in the state, if not the biggest. Only 56%. Coweta, 46%. Spalding, 57%. Effingham, 59%. These counties are Republican counties. And despite these counties underperforming most of the other counties, so far, based on congressional district and state house district, Republicans are tied with Democrats. And that's why you see and you notice Herschel Walker's final day of campaigning, he is barnstorming northern Georgia. He has the numbers in the rest of the state. Unironically, he does have decent turnout in the rest of the state. The only question mark is, are these voters going to vote on Election Day? If they do, Walker has a significant shot. Because what's to say the Election Day votes not more Republican compared to 2022's general election? What's to say that's not possible? We just gotta see what happens. And again, Democrats, They got their turnout in DeKalb, places like Cobb, Gwinnett, etc. And even then, they're basically tied with Republicans based on Republican counties and districts, percent of the early vote in 2022 compared to Democrat counties. They're tied. This is going to be a close race. I don't care what people say about, oh, Target Smart has the party affiliation. I don't care what Target Smart has at this point. So the question is this. What is my final prediction? Well, you look at percent. Republican districts, their turnout a lot more, considering the fact two of their biggest counties, they didn't turn out that good. And if the election day turnout is good for Walker, he has a path. Now, this is going to piss off a lot of people. I'm not saying Walker's favored. Neither am I saying Warnock's favored. I can already see the comments. They know what I'm doing. This race is a coin flip. Look, I can't base my prediction on any reasonable data point except early voting, which there's history to say that's not the most reliable. That's the real only data source we got for this runoff. Polling, it's unreliable. History says Walker should win this race. But with all that in mind, I cannot make a reasonable assumption for either candidate to win or lose. It is that close. And if you live in the state of Georgia, get out and vote for Herschel Walker to keep the 50-50 Senate. I think it's going to be down the wire. Some people think it's going to be a D+5 electorate. I don't know. But I think it's a complete coin flip. It is probably leaning towards Warnock. I absolutely think it is. But it's still a coin flip. It's going to be close. It's all going to come down to election day turnout. If Republicans turn out in Cherokee in large numbers, larger than expected, while Fulton County has a collapse in turnout, we got a pathway. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed the final prediction / analysis video. Again, if you live in Georgia, get out and vote. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Or I should say the live stream. Godspeed to all of you.